and I say that respectfully. No, it's the shades on me, goddammit. My cousin, but that's okay. It's not. To the genuine ones, with intentions, I actually hope that you continue to find peace within, regardless to who gave up on you or overlooked you during your journey. The energy is different. Folks be swearing that you talking about like a bad habit, but goddamn, it's new devils for new levels. It be the same thought for me. How folks will put you in a position at the end of the day with their bad habits when it comes to their one-sided conversation at the end of the day, lack of common sense. They ain't even understanding the whole on 1 second, the meaning of value. It's a train of thought for me. How did you lose sight and day putting someone in competition when they was never competing? Be train of thought for me. How someone didn't have to get physical with you, but you swore up and down they was talking about you. It's a train of thought for me. How folks will put themselves as a narrative, being a character at the end of the day. Only was the hold on 1 second, you must have dropped your mask that day. Because you must have had ill intentions. And I say that respectfully. Always be yourself when someone says you don't got potential. And I say that respectfully. I'm Niyah Genuine Love Respect, and it's not a crime to be your authentic self. Healing trauma and pain is not a race overnight process. It's not. How gang stalking is real. They quit to say that you mentally ill. How it took a whole community to try to discourage you. Folks be swearing that you're talking about like a bad habit. They try to ruin your reputation, but hold on 1 second, God's fixing your crown. They would never understand how. They putting themselves in a narrative at the end of the day when you don't have to say someone's name, let alone get physical when it came to their one-sided pain. Because at the end of the day, if they actually had common sense, they wouldn't be irrelevant if they didn't actually do what they did that day. It'd be the train of thought for me. A guilty conscience would have me fucked up, bent out of shape, don't know if we coming or going. No, I have to change on me. What's wrong with these people? I don't know. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions, and I say that respectfully. When you start to elevate, you start to gang folks in different tax bracket. They be trying to paint you out to be the villain in their story. They said that you ain't got lack of they said that you have lack of self control when it comes to discipline. But you didn't have to wild out to get physical to understand your mindset. Hold on 1 second. I wasn't trying to lose myself because you didn't understand me. It's a train of thought for me. I guess if I was strung out on narcotics, then you would actually hear me at the end. They ask for help. But because I truly have potential, you didn't want me to better myself. You see somebody with potential, you sit there and take notes. You didn't want someone to elevate fast and you hold on 1 second. That was your excuse. You forgot to maintain self-love when it comes to your confidence. Even if I got lost in my words at the end of the day, I still know how to respect my neighbor. Whether in a storm that you can relate to was hold on 1 second, going within. No, I have to say it, me. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. When you start to elevate in life, you get new devils, new levels, as they say, right? But when you truly protected by the Most High, the energy is different. I ain't have to get high. How folks in different tax bracket, they would discourage you, try to manipulate your character traits, or because they don't want you to believe in your faith. They would have different folks in different tax bracket doing things behind closed doors because they're able to pay them off just to do you wrong. They would dibble and dabble with your food, let alone your narcotics. Only because you didn't lose you. That chapter hits different because you understood that testimony. It wasn't a mistake. How folks put you in competition when he's never competing. They said you sound like a broken record. Don't nobody hear you. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you at the end of the day. I got you shadow banned. I'm paying folks to discourage you. I'm trying to humiliate you at the end of the day so you can live in fear. They don't want you to elevate and prosper. The innocent person that truly got the potential. You keep getting up even when the devil try to shortchange you. They throwing sport right there, but they talking about they keeping it real. How it took a whole group of people in different communities to try to only run the hold on 1 second. They couldn't even maintain a smile. No, for real, for real. Because if you really did, you wouldn't try to figure out how. How you throwing sport at somebody and trying to figure out how they keep getting up and finding balance. You trying to rob them mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, make them homeless. It'd be the train of thought for me how folks would try to put that type of footwork in just to discourage somebody. A hate train is so real. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully, because gang stalking is real. Just because it's not happening in your household, it's happening in someone's household. My content is not for everybody. So if I was strung out on drugs, you would hear me. If I listen to every move that you told me to do that day, how I will be listened to as the person that's not on your level. Because that's what you wanted me to do. You didn't want me to grow faster than you. You didn't want me to have the mindset of allowing myself to be available. You wanted to control the narrative of my character. But God was allowing me to maintain that conversation. The unconditional love started with it. And that's why God fixed my crown. God was never for sale when you keeping it real. I may not make sense to the average person, but I was just being my authentic self. I never had hate in my vein. I just knew how to respect my neighbor when it come weather their own storm. Hold on one second, we not the same. How folks be swearing that you talking about them like a bad habit, but goddamn, if your mask fell off, you shortchange yourself. It be the train of thought for me. It's a train of thought for me how you ain't gotta say somebody's name. And they already made an assumption that you talking about like a bad habit with their own pain. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. And I say that respectfully. Real recognize real. Folks be talking about they so real, but forgot to be authentic at the end of the day, really chill. Because if you were so authentic at the end of the day, you wouldn't sit there have to take notes on someone's creativity. You know, to shortchange them of respect. Because someone truly inspired you. And you talking about they big man, but they truly wasn't the issue. Someone continues to grow, understand elevation is different. You wouldn't be able to walk a day in their shoes, even when you take notes at the end of the day, because that journey is different. That was God's child. That baby allowed themselves to heal. You would never understand how. They was rooting themselves on every single day when you wanted to do them wrong. Projecting spellwork in a toxic way. Made someone truly feel, hold on one second, God didn't make a mistake. God didn't overlook me like that relapse at the end of the day. That energy is different. Coming from poverty and pain. Didn't matter if I had money in my pocket that day. If I was on an empty stomach, didn't have to pay my bill. I was so sure at the end of the day, asking God how. Because you get stuck on yourself. I don't mean no disrespect. How? I can't pay it. It's people that go in situations in life where they lose everything and they got to start all over. It's folks that put themselves in situations where they say, you know what? How I'm going to find me? I'm dealing with trauma and pain. I got folks throwing sport at me in a toxic way. They don't want me to be emotionally available, financially. They don't want me to elevate. So you put yourself in a mindset of being stuck. How? How do I get out of this run? I'm not making excuses for myself 'cause I'm trying to find how. But it's folks in the background that's trying to discourage me. It's folks in the background that work in different tax brackets that's making it more difficult because I won't convert to what they want me to do. I won't bow down to them. I won't kiss and worship the ground that they walk on because they're trying to play God and they're not God. It's a chain of thought for me. I may not make sense to the average person. It's not that I didn't want to choose me. I didn't know how to choose me. It's not that I didn't know how to show up because I thought I was doing my very best. But when folks see potential within you, they try to shortchange that vision and make you feel like you're supposed to be emotionally not available. And they try to paint you out to be a mental patient. It's a train of thought for me. How growth looks different on everybody. They throwing sport right to left, got the next door neighbor telling you everyone like a bad habit, didn't matter they tax bracket. How this type of stuff actually happens when someone speaks up for themselves, keeping it real, and then they quick to say that you're mentally ill. So I guess if I was strung out on narcotics, then that vocabulary actually would be different. You heard me. If I was urinating on myself or whatever the case may be, had a syringe in my body, then you actually respect me. No, or would you continue to walk past me? It's a train of thought for me. How this type of stuff becomes the norm. And then when someone tries to make the best out of a situation, folks want to do them wrong. They don't want someone to elevate in life. It be a train of thought for me. Pick and choose which side of the fence you want to be on. You're telling somebody to get their life together and they doing so, and then you're in the background making sure that they don't elevate faster than you. It be the train of thought for me. You ever got lost in your own words, but someone didn't hear you? Like just being stuck. It's a train of thought for me. I hear you, but I don't hear you. I hear you, but I don't agree with you. I'm not here for you to agree with me. Because everybody's walk of life ain't the same. Someone had $20 in their pocket today. They were supposed to put 20 on the bill yesterday. And they figured that, you know what? I'm gonna put this other 20 on the next bill. I'm already behind another bill. I'm already behind this bill, but I'm just trying to maintain. Asking for help, not trying to ask for a handout. But then, if I ask for help, would I look weak? If I ask for help, would I still get kicked down? If I ask for help, goddamn, people pick and choose who they want to help. Only was the hold on 1 second. I was far from mentally unstable because everybody needs help somewhere in their life. It's certain things in everybody's life at the end of the day, regardless if you're going to trauma and pain, you still need that booster. You know that someone just walks into your life. You don't gotta know them or not, but goddamn, they made your day. You know that unhealthy relationship that you came out of? You just walked into the arms of a stranger and they actually acknowledge you to show you at the end of the day, hold on 1 second. I see you, I hear you, and I respect you. I don't know what you've been through when it comes to your walk of life, but I'm not here to overlook you. The energy is different. You know, everybody's walk of life ain't the same, but everybody needs somebody at the end of the day. I ain't looking for no handout, but I just know how to respect my neighbor. Everybody has good days, bad days, misunderstanding days. Damn, you fell short today. Only the rest of hold on 1 second. You found balance when you made mistakes. They will never understand elevation when it comes to growth. How change actually starts within. My content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. How someone would try to humble you, all because you chose you. And people swear that you're talking about them, all because of the fact that they was wearing a mask and they had ill intentions. They didn't want your self-love to last. I may not make sense to the average person, but that's okay. Never give up on yourself when someone wants you to be discouraged. How folks would do things in the background and then say that you're mentally ill and say that something is wrong with you because they decided to say, you know what, I'm going to kick you down and I'm going to make sure that you don't elevate in life. And this type of stuff happens when you're not doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing, or because of the fact that you wasn't trying to kiss nobody's ass. It be train of thought for me. How folks be acting like they so invested in your time and day, only because they just want to play my manipulation games. It be train of thought for me. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. They say real recognize real. I fell back, but I still chose me. I wasn't trying to shortchange me of a vision you can relate to. They said, Duet, key your corner, you were nobody. But hold on 1 second. Them lens is different today. It do. It was lens that they can relate to. That was confidence. That bothered certain folks' mental health all because you understood change and growth. It didn't matter if you came from poverty and pain or not. As long as you take that step to go within and choose yourself, not to get discouraged. Hold on 1 second. You found a hobby that was truly for you. They didn't want you to grow and elevate to actually make a living off of it. They tried to distract you. No one spoke right to left, but you was still showing up for you. That energy is different. They didn't understand how you maintain a smile when they was in the background trying to make you homeless, and they would never understand how. How did you overcome that mindset of being lost? That's what you wanted, huh? That's what folks do when they throw spell work at you. They don't want you to elevate. They watch you within watching you. They mad at someone's tags bragged with their bad habits. It made them so comfortable that you was actually below them and that you wasn't elevating. They wanted you to kick yourself down even more, but you still never overlooked you. It's a train of thought for me. You ever got lost in your words? Do they hear me? Do they see me? I love me. Do they hear me? Do they see me? I love me. Do they hear me? Do they see me? I love me. Here you act in your corner, you are nobody. Thank you, God, for fixing my crown. They try to antagonize my character traits. They would never understand how I continues to still allow myself to feel that I was emotionally available. I was supposed to be lost in that last chapter, being so confused. I was supposed to be in a mindset of not overcoming that testimony. The dark days was real, but I had to keep it real with self. That's why I prayed to go within, and you didn't make a mistake. The energy is different when it comes to my confidence. You show me growth when it comes to emotionally available. Regardless of my circumstances, you allow me to feel, to truly keep it real. I couldn't wear a mask. I couldn't mask it another day. All because of the fact that you allowed me to see my faith. That energy is different. You didn't make a mistake. Yeah, they gave up me, overlooked me through my journey. But you fixed my crown when I couldn't see, allowing me to see while I looked in the mirror, maintaining a smile they can't relate to. The abuse was real. The mental, physical, emotional. Hold on 1 second. They would never understand that I truly healed. I'm still being patient with time and day, understanding his vocabulary is different. Unconditional love started within. That's a train of thought for me. When you didn't dim my light another day. Always be yourself with no malicious intention. I say that respectfully. And especially when you're not trying to hurt yourself or others around you. I guess if I was strung out on narcotics, I guess I'll be respected more in the community. I'll be bypassed anyway, or because folks already know that I was trying to get high, but that wasn't in my vocabulary. But goddamn, someone created a hate train towards me. They wanted to dibble and dabble to poison my narcotics that day, and then try to pay me out to be the villain. But they was truly the criminal the whole entire time. How they put poison in the community. If they did it to me, they did it to somebody else. The last person at the end, they didn't make it, but I did. That energy is different. God was allowing me to see why God restored me. It's certain folks that don't understand their own testimony. How you got folks that say they for the community, only the rest to hold on 1 second. They didn't want you to fix your crown, but God didn't allow you to wild out. It's folks that's talking about they trying to get high. Didn't matter what the narcotics was that day. But hold on 1 second, God didn't tell a lie. Because when God pulls you away and God restores you for all the right reasons, it was never for acting classes. And I say that respectfully because you was truly going within. The energy is different when it comes to healing trauma and pain. That light hits different. They would never understand how you made it to the end of that tunnel to smile. Overcoming that mindset to end it because someone had so much hate and jealousy in their vein that day. Or because they didn't want you to elevate. The he say, she say. Someone manipulating the situation at the end of the day, paying you out to be the villain in their story. Or because someone didn't want you to elevate faster than them when you was never in competition with them. Imagine respecting somebody, not knowing somebody. And they told somebody in their ear to whisper, hold on 1 second, I want you to shortchange that person their mental health to make them mentally ill. But God said, hold on 1 second, I heard that conversation, so I'm restoring you for all the right reasons when it comes to this next season. How this type of stuff happens. Some people don't make it to see tomorrow. Some people's barely making it to see today. They want to get out that mindset at the end of it, be set free. But the devil's a lie sometimes when you least expect it. Only the to hold on 1 second. How do I walk away? My content is not for everyone. It's not. It's disgusting to see how jealousy and envy and hate is really real. And it doesn't matter about someone's tax bracket. You could be a doctor, a lawyer, a psychiatrist, a rapper, an actor, a teacher. When you have the mindset of being jealous or envying towards somebody, you will pay the most top dollar just to anybody, just to shortchange somebody their mental health. It don't matter what job description you work at the end of the day. How when you have so much jealousy and hate towards you, and you don't want someone to elevate, you will make sure that you will project a hate crime towards an innocent person, and because the money that you have and you work in certain departments, you work in certain areas in your life and people know you, you're well known and what a case may be, nobody's going to believe that innocent person. How this type of stuff actually happens. How gang stalking is really real when you're not doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. It's a little baby right now that's crying out for help. Nobody hears them. Nobody sees them. They tired of being strung out. They keep going into supply at the end of the day. And they feel like there's no way out. They not doing it for likes and views or clout chasing. When they calling on God, and I say that respectfully, it was never for manipulation. They trying to find escape to find themselves. But hold on 1 second, how do I escape myself? It be the train of thought for me. how this type of stuff actually happens. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same, and my content is not for everyone. It's not. It's not. Because God is not for sale, and God is never for sale, and God has never been for sale. It's somebody right now that's crying out for help, and they didn't have to pretend to be on narcotics. They didn't have to pretend to be high. They didn't have to pretend to go to the dope man and whatever the case may be to plot a scene. They didn't have to do any of that. It's somebody that's literally going through this right now where they're trying to escape themselves to better themselves so they don't have to go to a narcotics, so they don't have to go to the dope man. It's a train of thought for me, how this type of stuff actually happens. And individuals in certain communities, they will rather project spell work towards an innocent person than actually help their community. You rather energy harvest off someone else's energy. You would rather try to destiny swipe with somebody, project spell work towards somebody, but you mean to tell me that you can't help your community? You got so much energy hacking someone's devices. You have so much energy keeping up with the next person's moves or whatever the case may be. But you mean to tell me that you can't help your neighbor besides dope them up? But then I'm crazy. Something is mentally wrong with me. Everybody has good days, bad days, and misunderstanding days. And I say that respectfully. Just because someone is going through narcotic pain at the end of the day, you can't see it. Just like I can't see your headache. Just like I can't see the pain in your leg. Just like I can't see the pain in your foot. Just like I can't see the pain in your arm. One day is all swelled up and the next day is not, but the pain is still there. You're having pain in your back that I can't see, but I'm not going to sit there and say, well, you're not going through pain. Everybody wears pain differently. Just like people go through trauma and pain and they wear it differently. You just got out of that abusive relationship and you're still wearing that pain differently because it has not been a time frame where you actually had did the proper healing. Or that domestic violence situation, or that abuse situation, or that relationship that you had with whomever, whatever subject it is, a guardian, a stranger in the street, your boss. Because some people at the end of the day deal with matters differently. And people do go through pain and trauma being on a job site, being discriminated against, being violated on the job, someone not being heard on a job, and being abused mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, or whatever the case may be. My content is not for everybody. I can't tell you that you ain't got pain. But when the right people walk and say like they hear you at the end of the day, with no malicious intentions. They're not in the background projecting spell work towards you. They're not in the background gang stalking you. They're not in the background trying to energy harvest off your energy. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. It's a train of thought for me. They don't want you to be woke. Nah, nah, they don't want you to be woke. Nah, they don't want you to be woke. Nah, they don't want you to be woke. They want you to fumble yourself like a bad mental illness. They don't want you to protect your mental health. Only was the hold on 1 second. You wasn't looking for revenge. You were just trying to make it even to go with and actually heal. Being misunderstood by folks that couldn't relate to you. It was never competition when you got to know you. They try to project a mindset, hold on 1 second, that you wasn't supposed to elevate, hold on 1 second. They wanted to throw chaos magic towards you, right to left, voodoo, witchcraft, they was dibbling and dabbling with. You wasn't doing it for likes if you was a cloud chasing, because you was mentally going through it. And you wasn't playing an actor's role. Because it was truly a reality at the end of the day when it come to these fools. No other traitor when the truth be told. It took a group of people to create a hate train, being patient with time and day. Yeah, they say that you're slow, stupid, and retarded. That you're truly not important at the end of the day. Nobody hear you. You're non-existent. You're not irrelevant at the end of the day. But if you truly wasn't irrelevant, why would they be watching you? If you truly wasn't irrelevant, why would they keep up with you? If you truly wasn't irrelevant, oh my God, why would they want to energy harvest off your energy? Why would they want to project spell work towards you if you wasn't irrelevant? Why would they gang stalk you if you wasn't irrelevant? Why would they try to destiny swipe with you if you wasn't irrelevant? You know, we live in a spiritual world, how folks pick and choose who could talk about spirituality or let alone God, heavy train of thought for me, or let alone the devil, how I don't worship. How folks would try to paint you out to be bent out of shape when you wasn't trying to catch a case. You ever told somebody that you're trying to change your life around, and the first thing they want to do is see you frown? They told all their neighbors around them. They like, nah, I gotta discourage this person. At the end of the day, it was a cult leader. They ain't want me to fix my crown, but I asked God for guidance to make sure I was good, mentally gone within. How they had to create a hate train towards me to block my blessings. But hold on one second, I was the biggest blessing to myself because God didn't make a mistake. They try to rob me mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, make me homeless at the end of the day. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same when it comes to healing trauma and pain. How folks be trying to humble you, but you wasn't trying to lose you. You was putting that footwork in every single day. They would never understand that God didn't abuse you. It was the enemy trying to test you. Let alone the devil was really watching you. But that test hits different when it's God's hands. The hand is different because God allowed you to see why God didn't dim the light when it came to that test that day, because God didn't make you fail. Because God was really showing that you was far from mentally ill. How this type of stuff actually happens every single day. Didn't matter your culture, your religion, your sexual orientation, your disability, or your age. We may not pray the same. I ain't have hate in my vein. You didn't want me to weather a storm that you couldn't relate to. It's a train of thought for me. We ain't the same, neighbor, but I'm far from a hater. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. Just like you. You say to yourself is, I'm gonna pay this bill today. You have situations in your life, maybe not you, but maybe you, where you say, you know what? I'm gonna pay this bill and I'm gonna wait to pay this bill. I'm gonna pay this bill, but I'm gonna put half on that bill. Matter of fact, if I go ask for help, I'll be okay. Why should I be painted? I'll be mentally ill. It's crazy. How this type of stuff actually happens when it comes to relationships too. You ain't gotta be sleeping with somebody at the end of the day. How folks say that you're not capable of taking care of yourself, all because you asking for help. It don't matter at the end of the day, damn, if it's an organization or not. How when you ask for help when it's supposed to be a community actually helping you, they rather shortchange you, paint you out to be the villain in their story, or because they want to mentally abuse you. How this type actually happens. It does when you're trying to grow within. But the folks in the background, that's projecting spell when it comes to your finances. They're just sitting back and laughing like, nah, we don't want you to elevate. We want you to be like that chick or that dude on that corner. We want you to be strung out on narcotics the end of the day. We don't want you to elevate faster than us. You know, we've been stuck in the same spot for over 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We don't want you to outgrow that mindset of leaving the hood. How this type of stuff actually happens when you truly keep in the real, far from hood. You just knew how to respect your neighbor. I'm just being respectful. Hold on one second. Didn't matter if you came from poverty and pain. I just knew how to respect my neighbor. 6 feet apart. Thank you, no thank you. Actually having a heart they want to discourage you. How this type of stuff actually happens. They say that you're not making sense at the end of the day, but hold on one second. That rotation hits different when you caught your blessings that day. I love myself not to dim my light. I love myself not to dim my light. I love myself not to dim my light. Thank you, God, for being patient with me. I'm a liability at the end of the day. Folks looking at me like, hold on one second. What's wrong with you? It's none of your business. It be the train of thought for me. Start to explain yourself to certain folks. They be like, nah, you doing too much. It be the train of thought for me. Like, nah, I can't take that bill when it comes to hold on one second. I knew I was far from mentally ill, but I ain't gonna let you shortchange my pockets because I don't know what's really going on with you mentally. How this type of stuff actually happens. How you apply yourself, but folks is rejecting you right to left. And then when you start to ask for help, folks be like, hold on one second, I can't help you. It be a train of thought for when you truly apply yourself. Or then folks act like they're gonna help you at the end of the day, only while they want to just take your creativity and head to the bank. Or let alone you start to pour into the wrong people and all they want to do is manipulate you at the end of the day. Then they leave you short on cash when it comes to your mental health. All because of the fact that they was able to run a fast one on you to take your kindness to weakness. But hold on one second, you was always the blessing because when it comes to your mental health, you always had it there. You had good days, bad days, misunderstanding days, but goddamn, you was always the one with the ideas. It's a train of thought for me. How they was feeding off your energy. You the one that had the potential when it came to the gift that God endowed within you. They would never understand at the end of the day why they have to keep coming back to you. Because they realize at the end of the day when they start to think. I don't know how to be authentic. God damn it, where this motherfucker at? How this type of stuff actually happens when you fall from an act. Imagine going to apply for a job, only not just to get the job. Imagine going to apply for the job, only to still be on someone's waiting list. And then folks in the background swearing that they know you, and you applying yourself. Even down to caseworkers that you speak to, are you hiring? They be like, nah, I don't even know how you got to start. Go apply online or whatever the case may be. You do all the things that you need to do on your behalf. Only rest the hold on 1 second, it's not working out for you. But folks are swearing that you're so lazy. It be the train of thought for me. And then they pick and choose who they want in their community. It be the train of thought for me. Nah, I'd rather my people than you be. I'd rather my people than to pick them. That's how they feel. And then they quick to say that you're mentally ill because you speak up for yourself like, damn. They think that you're so aggressive, but that was never the case. Everybody's tone is different when it comes to hold on 1 second. I wasn't trying to catch a case. It's folks that talk with their hands. It's folks that talk with their eyebrows, let alone hold on 1 second. They wasn't trying to hurt nobody. It be the train of thought for me. I wasn't being aggressive. I just knew how to respect my neighbor. To whether but still they can relate to was staying in my lane. How this type of stuff actually happens when you go into certain folks' community. They rather pick their people before you. And I don't mean no disrespect, but this type of stuff actually happens. Imagine applying yourself, applying yourself, applying yourself, only still to be rejected. And you're not trying to hurt yourself. They say get yourself together, but when you get yourself together, it's like you're not doing enough. But it starts with me. I was never on your pace at the end of the day when it came to hold on 1 second. My receiving hits different. Me choosing me. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. I can't sit there and say you're not in pain today when you're in pain. I can't sit there and saying that you're trying to abuse that person or that person at the end of the day when you're in pain. I can't see your pain. Just like I can't understand if you're going through trauma and pain from your past when it came to a mother and father issue, or you just lost a loved one, or you just lost a child. That's like a mother and a father when they lose a child. And they still walk around and you would never know at the end of the day that they're really hurting. They don't show it, but they're broken. So you mean to tell me at the end of the day, you're gonna pick and choose who you're gonna bully? It be the train of thought for me when it come to pain. We ain't the same. My content is not everybody. People pick and choose who they want to bully. It don't matter about your age, your religion, your culture, or not. And I say that respectfully because this type of stuff actually happens every single day. And my content is not for everyone. It's not. Individuals will hack your devices, gang stalk you, and then try to paint you out to be the villain of a story. The first time I ever was gang stalked, and I'm going to keep it real, it made me feel at the end of the day I was wrong. I was wrong for choosing me, all because someone decided to manipulate me. Someone act like they wanted to invest in me, only was the hold on 1 second. They looked at me like competition. It didn't matter their tax bracket. And then when I speak up for myself, they said I'm gonna dim your light. Ain't nobody gonna hear you. How this type of stuff actually happens. But I'm the crazy person. You know, when you're being real nowadays, they just want to dim your light. Imagine someone in a situation like you. I don't wish bad on nobody. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Because everybody should be able to have a household on the roof over their head to be able to go from point A to Z. But you don't make it to point B when you're leaving out of point B, and that's your home. All because someone decides to discriminate against you. Someone decides to rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, or financially. And I hate when people say, oh, it could never be me. It could never be me. It may not be you, but it be maybe someone that you love and care about. But that's still you because that's part of you. And especially if you're a mother and father, You can't say, oh, it can never be me. Like when someone throws spiritual spell work at you, or they do voodoo, witchcraft, or whatever the case may be, that can never be me. But then imagine now you walking into this mindset, it can never be me. And now you realizing that your baby is under spiritual attack. But you just said it can never be you. And that's part of you. And you're doing all the cleansing that you need to do. You're doing all the removal spells and all types of stuff, taking your baby to that practitioner, that tarot reader, that warlock, or whatever the case may be, that witch, or whatever the case may be. And they cannot even remove what's over your baby. How this type of stuff actually happens. And it doesn't matter how old your child is. Because at the end of the day, that will always forever be your baby. And it doesn't matter how old they are. They can be an adult or not. How this type of stuff actually happens. You falling behind a code, dibbling and dabbling with spell work. It's individuals that don't care about if you have children or not. They don't. Because they will put you in the situation where now you're regrouping your mindset and saying to yourself is, I bothered an innocent person. I thought it was fun and games humiliating this person. I thought it was fun and games hacking their devices. I thought it was fun and games and projecting spell work towards them. I thought it was fun and games and doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that towards them, only to realize it was never fun and games until it becomes your innocent situation. And because you may have already experienced it, now it became your situation because now your child has to deal with it. You just allow the devil to take over your child. And I get it. It's some parents that don't care about their children because they don't. They'll run along with these codes and sacrifice their kids and do all types of weird stuff for that evil dollar because you didn't want someone to elevate. You thought it was the norm to humiliate somebody. You thought it was the norm to kick innocent people down because this became your norm from a child point of view. And you've been doing it for so long until it's your household. I don't wish bad on nobody's child, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding. And I say that respectfully. And my content is not for everyone. It's not. I may not make sense to the average person, but that's okay. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. Being a follower is a train of thought for me. That wasn't part of my vocabulary. That's why they wanted to discourage me. They wanted me to relapse when it comes to, hold on 1 second, my existence of life. I ain't have to have a narcotics in my body. And any man or woman that has the mindset allowing someone to project in your head to have a hate train towards somebody, and you out here selling narcotics or whatever the case may be you're doing, and you poison somebody, you're a criminal. And I say that respectfully. Because when someone asks you, what is it? And then you lie about the situation, and then you try to manipulate a situation, that's you're a criminal. Regardless if they made something legal or not at the end of the day. The last person wasn't able to tell their story. The last person didn't make it to the hospital. The last person didn't make it to their loved ones. Because some people that are addicts, they have a mother and father that's still alive. They have a loved one that still be checking for them, even if they're not in that person's life. And they have to love them from a distance. They still check for that baby. And because you decide to shortchange somebody of their life, because you had the mindset of having jealousy and hate and envy within you, because a little birdie said something to you, or you had the mindset that somebody wants your chick or your dude or whatever the case may be, and nobody's even looking their way. You decided to deal with a certain individual when it comes to their tax bracket or when it comes to their looks or financially, mental, what mental health or whatever the case may be. You decide to pour into that person. That has nothing to do with an innocent person for you to go behind someone's back and hurt them. It's a chain of thought for me how this type of stuff actually happens. How people out here are selling these narcotics and are poisoning people. It's already poison already. But what you're doing now is you're dibbling and dabbling and you're fixing it a certain kind of way. And then you're trying to paint somebody out to be an addict in a different type of vocabulary when they didn't sign up for that. My content is not for everyone. It's not. Jealousy and envy and hate is real. And I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding. I'm far from hate, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. Healing, trauma, and pain is not a race or an overnight process. Everybody deals with trauma differently. Everybody deals with pain differently. And it's disgusting to see how folks will send spiritual spell work towards somebody when it comes to their finances and all other stuff or whatever the case may be. And someone every day keeps trying, regardless if it's a hobby or not. Someone keeps trying, and then you're still in the background, making sure that someone doesn't elevate still, making sure that someone doesn't get that job opportunity here, or someone doesn't get that relationship here, or someone doesn't meet certain individuals that's willing to help them. So it's like, damn, you making sure every avenue for this person to be stuck. And then when they speak up, you're saying that they're mentally unstable, but you the one playing with spell work towards the innocent person's pockets. It'd be the train of thought for me. It can make sense, ma'am, sir. I never understood that. How you sit there and say that someone is unfit to do something, but you the one projecting spell work tools towards somebody. Does that make any sense? It doesn't. But you're not understanding how someone continues to still show up for themselves every single day. The last person you did that to, they wasn't showing up for themselves. They was stressed out, strung out. They didn't know if they was coming or going. You wanted them to be like the person on the corner, asking and begging, and you be the one to walk past them. It's the same thought for me. Or you rather feed them poison. Every community is truly not for you, and I say that respectfully. Because the right community that is truly for you, they hear you, they respect you with no malicious intentions. It's not just putting food in your stomach, it's actually helping you, neighbor. And I say that respectfully. Not everybody's mentally strong to help somebody. People want to just help somebody just to talk about them like a bad habit. Well, yeah, I just help the person down the block or whatever the case may be. I give them a couple of dollars. They probably use it for a little bag or a drink or whatever the case may be. But they're gonna be on the same corner tomorrow and begging again. It's train of thought for me. Yeah, I'd rather project spell work towards innocent people and make sure that they're low vibrational so they won't elevate in life. It's really disgusting. And then you sit there and say that you're a child of God. How can you possibly be a child of God? People who pick and choose who could talk about spirituality. People who pick and choose who could talk about God. God was never for sale. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. I would never feel wrong for helping someone. It didn't matter your tax bracket when you sat there and tried to humiliate me. And I say that respectfully. You try to humble me. I was you set, right? I'm big mad for what? Why would I be mad for? When God is choosing me. Why would I be mad? Regardless of what you're trying to do in the background, why would I be mad? Everybody's situation is not the same. And everybody doesn't deal with the same situation the same. It shouldn't be the norm why anybody should be homeless. It shouldn't be the norm why anybody shouldn't have food in their fridge. It shouldn't be the norm. It shouldn't be the norm why people homeless. It shouldn't be the norm. You rather play with spoke on people. You rather put somebody in competition at the end of the day when they trying to help you because you don't want them to elevate faster than you when it was never a race. But you're talking about you're so godly. We don't pray to the same person, but I still know how to respect my neighbor. It's a train of thought for me. And it doesn't matter about someone's tax bracket or what job description that somebody has. Because when You can have more than somebody, and so you can have more than somebody can have more than you and be a threat because you choose you. And because you have more wiseness up there, regardless of what you're going through. And how did you overcome what you just been through? And after they didn't send spiritual warfare towards you, how do you keep uplifting yourself? Who's protecting you? Who's loving you? We don't see nobody walking with you. We don't see nobody checking for you. We monitoring your calls. We gang stalking you, all types of stuff. That's what these folks are talking about. Like who? How this type of stuff actually happens. How someone would see potential within you, they would sit there and take notes just to feed it to their community. And would never put respect on your name, and then they say that you're a big man. No, never that. Because the way that I elevate the message, the way I say the message is one way. The way you say the message at the end of the day is folks, it's not for you, that's not going to hear you. And even when you play frequencies to try to discourage them and manipulate them at the end of the day, because it's nothing but the devil's work. And I'm not scared of the devil, and I don't live in fear. Because that's not what God endowed within me. That's why when God revealed the devil and the enemy to me, I continue to stand before myself today. I continue allowing me to feel that I am worthy. And I didn't get lost in that chapter or that testimony because God allowed me to see why maturity hits different, regardless of what I'm going through mentally. And I say that respectfully and financially. I'm not sitting there lashing out on everybody, regardless who's in the background trying to blackmail me. And I say that respectfully because it took a whole group of people in different tax brackets to create a hate train, all because of the fact that I spoke up for myself in the most healthiest way. And it didn't matter what the subject was that day. How folks swear you talking about them like a bad habit. If the mask fall off, goddamn it, yep, I'm talking about you, goddamn it. It was you, and you. Same thought for me. How when someone threatens your life and says that nobody's going to hear you or believe you because we're going to have a group of people go up against you because they work in certain departments. They have the pull because they have the money, whatever the case may be, to discourage you, to humiliate you, to paint you out to be the villain of our story. How this type of stuff actually happens. How folks swear that they're humbling you, but you've been always humble. That's why you stand before yourself today. That is different. God didn't make a mistake. I love to talk about love. But hold on one second. Entertainment purpose only. My concept, everybody, and I say that respectfully. I'm nice and I was like, I never understood this bougie ass shit. No, ever change on me. A motherfucker be like, I want real around me. No, ever change on me. I don't fuck you fumble real, you jackass. No, ever change on me. They be like, damn, I don't want the real where I can't manipulate you. Huh? Ever change on me. A motherfucker be like, you can't be smarter than me, but I want real around me. What? I didn't sign up for your one side ass conversation at the end of the day. The definition of real at the end of the day. But no malicious intentions actually hits different. People don't be speaking up at the end of the day, but they be quick to say they want real. So you gotta be mindful when folks say real. Because you'd be so surprised they be playing with spoke work to make you mentally ill. And I say that respectfully. They'll gravitate towards you, just the energy harvest off your energy. Then it paints you out to be the villain of their story, but hold on one second, God didn't make no mistakes. And especially when God's protecting your mental health. They try to shortchange your vision. Hold on one second. You were supposed to be their issue. They wanted to drain you out. Only rest to hold on one second. God allows you to elevate, to understand your faith while you stay before yourself today. That confidence bothers them. They don't understand it. Hold on one second. How do you choose yourself? I wish I had the strength that you had to overcome what you're going through. Regardless of hold on one second, when whoever put you down, they in the background doing some bad things. But you continue to elevate to understand that hold on one second, you wasn't trying to allow you to hold you back. We ain't the same. And you was never wearing a mask, being authentic. They didn't like the fact that you knew how to speak up for yourself and you was far from mentally ill. Getting discouraged, nah, that wasn't part of God's timing. I don't worship the devil, but God's timing is different because I never had hate in my vein. We ain't the same. I knew how to respect my neighbor, couldn't weather their own storm. But god damn, Imagine respecting somebody and only for them to look at you like competition, and only for them to look at you like that you think you're better than somebody. So they gotta try to interrupt you and project their insecurities on you to mentally abuse you, verbally abuse you. And then when they abuse you first, now when you took all this shit in the world, you got damn wrong for keeping it real. Ain't the trade for me. I don't understand that one side ass colonization either, because I ain't signed up for it. It be that mindset for me right there. How folks are pick and choose who they want to bully. And then as soon as they bully the wrong person, it's like, damn, now you doing too much. Why? Because now I'm speaking up for myself. Now you doing too much. It's the same thought for me. How this type of stuff actually happens. You're doing too much. They say you're talking too much because you're calling them out. But you had to create a hate train towards an innocent person just to lie on somebody when someone actually had facts and they was keeping it real. How you wanted to rob them mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, make them homeless. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. Folks will swear I'm talking about like a bad habit, but goddamn, if the mask fell off, yeah, you talking about yourself when you keeping it real. I hope you look in the mirror and actually change. My content is not for everyone. It's not. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. I never knew it was a crime to tell somebody that you're trying to get your life together and only for them to be in the background projecting spell work towards you. And they're older than you. You would think that they will give you encouragement, a word of encouragement, word of wisdom. Matter of fact, it'll even be a mentor in your life or even be a sponsor in your life because of the fact that the job title that they hold and they hold weight within their community. It didn't matter the tax bracket. It didn't matter if it didn't matter. And I said it respectfully. How they will rather kick you down than to see you elevate. How this type of stuff actually happens and someone actually acknowledge that, you know what, I'm allowing myself to be emotionally available today, only to only for my neighbor just to blackmail me against me. That's why people be falling back. It don't matter what area you go in when it comes to expressing yourself to somebody, because you go into a community and you're asking for help, or you go to the library, you go to the doctor. First thing a motherfucker want to say is, you start to express yourself, you're looking for a friend. No, you're not. What's the community if the community can't help you? What's a community if we don't have the right sources and different departments to actually give you the proper knowledge that you need at the end of the day? What's a community? If one person can't answer, I got somebody that can answer it for me. When you know, you know. It's somebody else in a different department that can answer that question for you. But they rather project spore towards you. They rather energy harvest off your energy. They rather say, you know what? I worship God too. I go to that church around the corner, down the block, this way, that way, or across town. But only while it's home and tell you, Tom, yeah, I don't pray the same. It's train of thought for me. We ain't the same. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. When they say every community is straight out for you, it's true, it's not. Because people pick and choose who they want to bully. People pick and choose who they want to manipulate and paint to be the villain in their story. But when they bully that person, and then when that person speaks up for themselves, they done us wrong. When they wasn't this whole entire time. One thing I don't do is run from my fear. And I say that respectfully, because it don't live within me. Now, and the check, I gotta go. Always be yourself with no molesters. I'm far from a hater. I'm not using no respect. Have a good day. Always be yourself with no molesters. Just don't tell me you're like getting discouraged. Nah, neighbor, neighbor, neighbor. I'm far from a hater, 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 hater. No, hold on one second, neighbor. I'll be fine. Peace. See you later, neighbor. I'm not using no respect, that my content is not for everyone. Gang stalking is rules as your household. And you're not doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. I say that respectfully. Always be yourself, no intentions. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. And I always have, regardless who's in the background trying to blackmail me against me. It's disgusting to see how it doesn't matter someone's culture, how someone will sit there and take notes on you and won't even put respect on your name. But they talking about they on the way to the bank. But you fall for mad because God allows you to elevate every single day. They would never understand that transition, put in the footwork to actually heal, to love yourself. Always be yourself with no intentions. When someone says you don't have potential, never give up on yourself. Them same people that be talking about you ain't got potentials, it be the same one taking notes. Only to disrespect you at the end of the day. They have a whole hate train against you, but you didn't lose your faith. They ain't just different. We ain't the same. I'm Niyah, Genuine Love Respect, and my content is not for everyone, and that's okay. Have a safe year, day, evening, week, weekend. You matter, you're worthy. Always be yourself and no intentions. Stop the violence. Peace and respect, some respect, to neighbors, otherwise, you anywhere know them, you like, go, you never able them, you like. Always be yourself with no intentions. And I say that respectfully. It's disgusting to see how someone will call you a bum, but then take your creativity and use it as their own. Make it make sense. Hello. I don't understand either. Same thought for me. Respect's a two-way street. I ain't got hate in my vein. I know how to respect my neighbor. Protect your energy, you and your family. Stop the violence. Peace and respect, some respect to neighbor. Stop the violence. You may well know them. You like, go, you never